Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a pretty small week, but as always there's lots of great books to talk about. I'm going to start with the Marvel guys because there's lots of events going on these days. This is Infinity Wars number 2. You probably read all the Infinity Countdown stuff. I hope you read Infinity Wars 1 if you got to the last page of the last issue. Boy, was that a cliffhanger ending, and you're dying to grab this number 2. Lot going on in this series, along with Edge of Spider-Geddon. Everybody's been waiting for the next big spider event, and here it is with Punk Rock Spider-Man. Everybody knows how much I love the good old punk rock. And what's more fun than a punk rock Spider-Man? And Extermination is the next big X event. This is what will wrap up all the stuff that began back in All New X-Men and through X-Men Blue and a lot of the X stuff going on. I know everybody talks about event fatigue and different things, but Marvel's got a lot of cool stuff going on right now. A lot of moving and shaking. It's a good time to be an X fan. I know all three of these have a lot of people excited to pick them up. Along with Hunt for Wolverine. This is one of the many minis, the last issue of this one, all funneling down into the one-shot that will be the Return of Wolverine. Super cool. Astonishing X-Men Annual and Weapon X, along with Weapon H, round out all your X-verse stuff for the week. Been saying it's a really good time to be an X fan, and it's only getting better with the relaunch of Uncanny X-Men right around the corner. Good stuff. Speaking of relaunches, Tony Stark Iron Man. This is the 3rd issue of the latest incarnation of Shellhead. Everybody knows I'm a big Avengers fan. Excited to see Tony back in the suit. Along with Thor. This is Thor number 4. Again, another return to greatness for the God of Thunder. Marvel's got all kinds of renewed series rolling out these days. Cable and Deadpool Annual. Yes, I know there's not a Cable and Deadpool series right now, but you guys love seeing these two team up. And here's a big double-sized one-shot adventure for you. And Deadpool Assassin is your other Deadpool book for the week. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, taking on Sandman. It's your only spider book for the week. Well, other than Edge of Spider-Geddon, of course. And Doctor Strange, along with Multiple Man, round out your Marvel stuff for the week. But there's always more Marvel to talk about, like the Star Wars universe. This is your Star Wars Beckett one-shot. If you love the Solo movie as much as I did, you're stoked to get a bonus-sized one-shot comic with one of the cool co-stars of that movie. Always talking up the great job Marvel's doing with their Star Wars stuff, like Poe Dameron. This is one of the 4 ongoings that they've got along with Star Wars, Darth Vader, and Dr. Aphra. Great stuff from the Marvel guys. Good week for DC too. Always like to start with this guy. This is Batman number 53. This is probably the biggest book in comics. Tom King is lighting the world on fire these days. A lot going on in this title. That one, Batgirl number 25, extra-sized anniversary issue. And Batwoman, a lot of talk about this character lately. And Batman 66 teaming up with Archie. I would have waited till the Indies section, but you know, that's Batman. And that's Jughead. Super awesome. Can't say enough about, much like Tom King on Batman, Archie is just lighting the world on fire these days. Across the board, they just have a million great titles that everybody's eating up. And this is definitely one of them. Grab the first issue and catch up to this week's number 2. Nothing more fun than Batman 66. Harley Quinn is somewhat of a Bat book as well. And here she is with the Suicide Squad taking on Aquaman. And speaking of Aquaman, here he is on the cover of Justice League. A lot of talk about that Aquaman movie. That trailer looked really awesome. Even if you're a doubter, you gotta say that trailer looked really awesome. Green Lanterns. It's your Green Guy book of the week. And New Challengers, along with Damage. It's your New Age of Heroes books for the week. DC has all kinds of things going on, like Injustice 2. Here's Lobo getting a Green Lantern ring. What is crazier than Lobo having a Green Lantern ring? Even if you're not following Injustice, you're going to want to pick that up. And how about this one? Injustice versus He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. How cool is that? You are an 80s kid, you love some He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I'll have anybody taking on Superman. Good stuff there. And Cave Carson is your Young Animals book for the week. And last but not least is Pearl from Brian Michael Bendis. Brian Michael Bendis does all kinds of creator-owned things that he did for Marvel and Image for a long time, like Powers and Scarlet and some other stuff. This is a new one. He's brought along his artist from Jessica Jones. Of course, everybody's dying to see all the stuff that Bendis rolls out over at DC these days. So you're going to want to get up on that one before it's totally sold out. Good stuff. And a great week for all the indies, too. Witchfinder is one of the Mike Mignola books that I don't talk about a lot because, well, I talk up a lot of BPRD and Lobster Johnson and that kind of thing. But I never miss an opportunity to mention a Mike Mignola book. I think this is the second series for Witchfinder. And The Terminator is back in comics. You know, you might not know that Dark Horse pretty much mastered the licensed property thing in comics. Before Dark Horse, nobody really wanted to read licensed property comics because Marvel and DC just weren't very good at it, frankly. But Dark Horse they came on board with Terminator and Alien and Predator and just really wowed all of those fans. And they've been doing a great job of it for years and years and years. If you're a Terminator fan, you're going to want to check that out. Classic sci-fi. The Wicked and the Divine is your Image book of the week. I know you've been waiting for this one, but I guess you Image fans are kind of used to waiting, frankly. But it's always worth the wait. Wicked and Divine's been solid from the beginning. And Magic Order is one of their new hits from Mark Millar. I know everybody picked up number 1. I hope you're keeping rolling with it because it's a really solid title. Kind of new, kind of different. Certainly different from the other stuff Mark Millar's done. And Ice Cream Man is our other Image book for the week. Sort of a horror anthology thing. This thing's been a lot of fun from the first issue, so if somehow it got by you, pick up that trade paperback and catch up to the recent issue. A lot of us around here are really digging this one. Sherlock Holmes is my Dynamite book of the week, because Sherlock Holmes definitely deserves his own comic. And Dynamite is, much like Dark Horse, another company that does an excellent job with all their licensed property stuff. Star Trek. My IDW book for the week. This one continues the Mirror Universe stuff that they've been doing. Well, again, much like Dark Horse and Dynamite, IDW's done a really, really good job with all this Star Trek stuff. So if you're a Trek fan, you're going to want to check out all the different books that they've done. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is your Boom Studios book of the week because everybody loves the MMPR. 90s things and 90s comics are totally raging back these days. And, well, Boom Studios and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are kind of leading the pack with that. And Robotech is your Titan book of the week. Again, if you're an 80s kid, you love some Robotech. And everybody loves giant robots. And it's a good week for all the all-ages stuff, too. I'm always encouraging you guys to have all-ages books on your list. Like The Incredibles 2. If you saw the movie, you loved it as much as I did, as much as everybody else did. Love seeing Pixar in comics. And Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Just doesn't get more classic than Scooby-Doo. In fact, there's a lot of Scooby going on in comics these days. There's this one, there's Scooby-Doo Team Up, which is probably my favorite book in the All Ages section, and of course Scooby Apocalypse. Sonic the Hedgehog, back in comics. I know there's a lot of Sonic fans out there. Teen Titans Go, the latest DC Comics movie stars. I know this book doesn't need any help. Everybody's always waiting for the next issue of Teen Titans Go. And Walt Disney Showcase is supersized and packed with fun. Much like the Mike Mignola stuff, always love talking up the Disney comics. Really great seeing Mickey and the gang back in the old four-color funnies. And last but not least is this guy. Did you know that Archie teams up with Marvel to do All Ages Digest stuff? This is your Spider-Man Venom one. So you can pick up some all-age Venom stories to get the little ones ready for the movie. They do all kinds of different ones. They've done Thor and Cap and X-Men. They're all original or reprint stories, but they're all ages appropriate, kind of spanning the eras of the different characters. So be on the lookout for all the different ones of those. That's fun stuff. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at black-cat-comics.com, where you can check out our cool new Shopify store and shop some exclusive items seen only on the website. You can check out our Facebook page, check out our YouTube channel, check out the podcast at soundcloud.com. Just get on down here to the good old brick and mortar in Rock and Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.